Today, we're diving into a really devastating story out of northern Nigeria. It's a crisis that didn't kick off with some big political fight. Nope. It started with something valuable, something glittering in the ground, and how that single spark lit a fuse on a deadly spiral of violence.
So, let's set the scene. We're in the states of Zamfara, Kebbi, and Niger. And here, the discovery of huge, unregulated gold deposits, well, it wasn't a blessing. It turned out to be a curse, attracting predators from all over.
So, who were these predators? Well, the first ones on the scene were the so-called cabals. And we're not talking about small-time crooks here. We're talking about powerful, shadowy syndicates who saw a chance for massive profit and had zero intention of playing by the rules.
I mean, just look at this network. You've got well-connected, powerful businessmen, retired generals, even politicians, all teaming up with foreign buyers. They had the connections, they had the influence, but what they didn't have was the muscle they needed on the ground.
And this is where the whole thing takes a really dark turn. They went to the villages and found all these restless, jobless young men, and they made them an offer that was as simple as it was horrifying. Protect our illegal mines, and we will give you guns. Just think about the economics of this for a second. An AK-47, a military-grade assault rifle, for just 1 week's work. And hey, if you bring your younger brother along, you get 2. And just like that, you have deadly weapons flowing right into the hands of teenagers.
Which brings us to the absolute pivot point of this whole story, right? How did these boys, who started out as just guards for some gold pits, transform into the feared bandits and warlords who are now terrorizing entire regions?
Well, it didn't take them very long to figure something out. The same gun that can scare off a rival miner can also stop a car on a highway. They realized there was a business that was a whole lot cleaner and a whole lot faster than digging in mosquito-infested pits: kidnapping for ransom.
And the payoff? It was staggering. We're talking 50 million naira. That's over 60,000 US dollars for a single kidnapping. A life-changing fortune, and you could get it in 48 hours. All paid in untraceable cash. And the cabals? They didn't mind one bit. To them, it was just another revenue stream to launder.
And this is how it all builds into this awful, self-perpetuating machine. The illegal gold money buys weapons. The weapons create armed gangs. Those gangs discover kidnapping pays way better. The ransom cash then flows right back to the same cabals who use it to fund more mining, which of course requires more guns. The whole cycle just locks in and gets bigger and bigger.
The fallout from this has been absolutely catastrophic. Entire regions are now basically held hostage. Schools are empty, farmers have abandoned their fields, and major highways have turned into kill zones. And all the while, the godfathers who started this whole mess, they just pack up and move to a life of luxury in Abuja or Dubai, miles and miles away from the chaos they created.
But, and this is a big but, there is a fundamental weakness at the heart of this entire criminal enterprise. Both the illegal gold and the ransom money, they depend on one thing to survive: darkness. They just can't stand the sunlight of transparency.
I mean, here it is, laid bare. The entire system runs on cash. It's anonymous, it's untraceable, it's the very oxygen that crime breathes. And the antidote is its complete opposite: a digital trail, something that's verifiable, something that's transparent. If you can break the stranglehold of cash, you can break the cycle.
So, what's the solution then? It's not about sending in more soldiers, which has failed over and over again. It's about systematically taking apart the financial engine that drives this crisis. It's about, well, weaponizing transparency.
Okay, so here's the proposed game plan, a 5-step antidote. First, you mandate that all mineral payments have to be digital, no cash, no gold. Second, you cap cash withdrawals to make paying these huge ransoms basically impossible. Third, you automatically freeze any suspicious accounts and you publicly name their owners. Fourth, you pay whistleblowers a cut of any recovered funds. And finally, you use satellite tech to spot illegal mines and hit them with immediate financial penalties.
And look, none of this is science fiction. Other African nations are already moving towards cashless economies. The technology to do all this exists right now. The real barrier, the true obstacle, is a total lack of political will from the powerful people who benefit from keeping things anonymous with cash.
When you really boil it all down, the problem becomes crystal clear. This is overwhelmingly a political problem, not a technical one. The tools are all there on the table. What's missing is the courage to actually use them.
So, Ultimately, this brings Nigeria to a really fundamental choice. This immense mineral wealth buried under its soil can be one of two things: a blessing that lifts people out of poverty, or a curse that fuels endless, bloody conflict.
And that is the absolute tragedy at the center of all of this. Gold should have built schools, it should have built hospitals, but instead, by allowing it to be traded in the shadows with untraceable cash, it became a curse. A curse that puts assault rifles into the hands of children and turns them against their own country.
The call to action is this simple, this powerful, and this clear. If you want to end the violence, you have to attack its source. You have to break the financial system that fuels it. Break the cash, and you break the cycle.
And that leaves us with a final, pretty haunting thought. Will that choice be made? Will transparency be enforced? Or will we all just watch as one terrible thing continues to lead to another, feeding this spiral of violence forever?